Good evening, my name is The Ferret and I'm on Alarm Copter's server of Joyous Win.
Hello.
And today we're in the ever fun map of Freight. I mean, personally, this is a map I love to go to every now and again, simply because double trains. I mean, also it's kind of like well, but this one, the trains are such a prominent feature.
Yeah, I mean, the trains pretty much are the thing that kind of make this map, and in a way it is kind of like sort of the baby brother of well. It's got, it's completely symmetrical, it's got a train on either side of the midpoint, and you've also got the small areas of water as well, which have like a little bit of a hidden tunnel thing, and it's kind of as if like this could have been like a beta idea for Well almost, but obviously Well is an older map anyway.
Yeah, I know what you mean with this. It does feel like the baby brother, although it's got a kind of a much more lateral feel to it rather than a straight line. But anyway, though, I mean, the thing with this one, though, with the trains, if they case come with a full cargo and they get in the way, just so much fun. But yeah, I mean, let's have a look at what's going on with the teams at the moment. Well, from the looks of it, I think Red's on the winning streak. Well, that's to be fair, Blue hasn't really entirely loaded in just yet, so that's not helping. And also today, no Shaggy, so we don't know where he is, but, this could be very interesting.
Yeah, I think this is probably the first game on this server for probably a good 3 or so months without him, or possibly even since the start of the server.
Yep, I'd say that. Now, Red, what do you manage to get in around the side? And that's the thing I love about this particular map. So many nooks and crannies. I mean, this is like an older version, or maybe a different type version. But the original, I loved flanking in and around the sides on this, and just generally being a complete ferret. Popping in and out of holes, generally surprise people, and start capping points.
Yeah, I think really, as it is, the only difference there is from this map, I feel like this might have been the stock map at one point, because I do remember playing this version. But in the standardized version, the upper area on the second point is a little bit larger. It's sort of a nice little spot for engineers.
Yeah, and also you've got that nice little underground bit which kind of links those two rooms. It's very hard to describe here. Well, it looks like Red's managed to regain the initiative already. And again, this is kind of one of those areas where an engineer can be really, really handy in the right place. Yeah,
I'd say, actually, this is kind of like, sort of reminds me a lot of, what map is it? Gully Wash, I believe, where, engineers work really, really nicely, but no one bothers. And it's kind of a shame, because this map kind of has all the potential for good engineer work, and yeah, it just sort of goes a little bit wasted, sadly.
Little bit. Oh, I do forget about the train. I forget the trains actually also hit the last points as well. That's also funny. But right now, though, Blue's making a nice defence. I mean, thing is, to be fair, it's the first round. They get caught flat-footed. They're not sure where the maps are, what's going on. So, it's kind of excusable for the time being. But they are stuck to a 4-1 game. But Red are, I don't know, they're a bit tenacious right now. They're not really moving out properly. I mean, traditionally, this is one of those good old scout maps. You can really, if you just power straight on to second, take second and go grabbing last, you can do that in this map if the blue team's not prepared, or the defending team's not prepared for you.
Yeah, I think as it is at the moment, Red are just really going to be slightly pulling away just because of their sort of class choices. Obviously we haven't got Shaggy in them, so there's no sort of like, there's not the usual Uber Pro Demoman presence, but there's still some good explosive work going on from pretty much half of the team. But then same could be said for Blue as well.
Yeah, Blue is actually holding really well. This is the thing I'm saying. They got caught flat-footed. What might happen is that they actually kind of get their act together and start pushing back. Oh, the other thing we do need to remember, actually I need to remember with editing, we need to see if the train kill streak counter on. Because that's going to be fun to watch. Now, there's Error the Nerd trying to hold B, the red team. Blue team kind of okay. Blue team's actually getting on this point here. Now, I think that's a classic case of not looking where the bad guys are coming from. Saying that though, okay, blue team's coming back in this game. Here's the thing, I mean, you see a 1-4 game, right? And the problem is that the defending team has to be so careful about defending. When it gets to a 2-3 game, the game gets much more lively.
Yeah, I mean, as it is, that's sort of the one problem I can really say about this map in any version, is that The only real difficult point of attacking the final capture point is just getting up the slight incline. After that, you know, it's fairly flat, and if you haven't got an engineer, the only thing that's really going to stop an attacking team is an unfortunately timed train. And, you know, now it kind of gives Blue a little bit more leg room to sort of spread out. And actually, I think it's, yeah, Quincy Poker there. Really, really nice medic work, actually. Pretty much keeping everybody healed up very, very nicely. And a good Uber as well.
Yeah, generally. Now, I felt that Uber they could have pushed out a little bit more with that. Maybe broke through red completely. But, you know, that was good. It kind of just generally breaking up. And Blue team is definitely on the comeback here. But you know what I'm saying about the points, though, this one? I agree. That last point was actually quite defensible, and I quite like that. But you take what I consider a much more flawed map, which is 5 Gorge. And that is a map that is horrible on 4-1 because the attack has way too much advantage. But this one's much more nicely balanced. Right now, though, red team. This is kind of a nice game so far because neither team has really shown too much weakness, and both being really quite good in defense.
Yeah, I mean, as it looks, at least, you know, from out in the courtyard view, it does look as if red is kind of dominating, but Blue have managed to keep it to that doorway for the last sort of minute and a half, and this Uber, not as good as that Uber, you know, could have possibly gone a little bit further, but I'm not sure where the rest of Blue are, but small attempt on the point as well, but I think there was way too many red guys there to try and keep that going.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. That's where you send some slippy scouts in. Personally, I'd bonk scout past the main group, get their attention and make them pull back a bit. Then beyond that, just start dancing around the back areas, just being a general pain in the arse, and reduce the numbers at the front. Hopefully the rest of your team picks up on it and kind of gets into gear. And if they don't chase after you, start capping the point there, they'll have to come back. Again.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good sort of map really for back cap scouts, or not so much back cap scouts, but there's one train kill, by the way.
Hey.
Pinky. There's a good map for scouts. If you can get, you know, straight into the backfield, you can kind of go straight on head to second to last point, while the rest of your team is capping mid. And if the other team aren't paying too much attention, then you've pretty much got that second point as well. And if they haven't got an NG at the back, you're kind of guaranteed a full win then. Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, I got an engineer up now. That's the thing. An engineer really counters the bonk scout strategy quite hard. And you know, who's that engineering right now? And that's Stabson. Nice little sentry. I'm not sure about the range issue there. It's a bit tricky. I'm not sure. Oh no, he picked it up. Oh no, oh no. The problem is it was way out in front, and it went down. I think that's a commentator's bungling there. This commentator bungling at least. But look at Blue now. They are eventually clawing their way back into this game, though.
Yeah, so far I think a lot of Red's sort of good defensive work, or rather good attacking and holding work, has been down to the fact that they've got two very, very good medics on their team. I mean, Pinky, we've seen before, is pretty damn good as a medic in sort of any kind of game, and I believe he is using a vaccinator at the moment, which I've kind of come to love. It's you know, it's difficult to get used to, but once you get into it, it's a bastard to play against.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, it also counts your favourite medigun of all time, the crit scree. Use that as like, what? What is this bullshit? But no, it is. I see it is the smart engineers one. I mean, the crook fix is the other one that people consider the smart one. But I always maintain the straight Uber is the best Uber. You can just deal with any situation with that. It might take a bit longer, but it will get you there. Get Stabson there. He's panicking. It's not looking good. He's also dead, which doesn't help. That's a nice little sentry there. It might not be the best of areas, but it's doing something. But right now, Red are still getting their defences going at them. They're doing reasonably well, so they're not, you know, having too much problem here, Red. But what would you say? How's the red team need to get back at this? What I feel is actually the Blue Scouts have been somewhat effective, but I would say immediately Quincy has been one of the biggest factors for Blue Team. He's been actually Ubering up and just generally keeping people healed. Some excellent medic work just keeping Blue Team alive.
Yeah, I think really it does. This map has been so far very, very medics at the forefront of the battles, and I think a lot of Red, obviously they've kind of got the advantage in that there's 2 medics running around, but I think the problem is some of Red guys, they're kind of ignoring where the medics are, and it does seem to be more often than not, you see the Red medics going with 1 guy and it's a standard pocket, whereas it does look as if Blue is going for a lot more of a decent group approach, which is one that I personally, that's just one that I advocate on any kind of map. If you can, team up nicely, as long as you're not going to get crit sticky, then it's always a winner of an option.
Yeah, I think we always advocate going large dumps rather than trickles. The thing is, with a big team, you can kind of just push in and take casualty. With trickles, you're getting killed 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. And actually your team's always kind of half strength for most of the time. Whereas with a big group, yeah, that can happen if something goes disastrously wrong, but it's not that common. Oh well, not sure who that was. Spy there. Didn't get the stabs going, took out the dispenser, which is nice. And then it goes again. Oh, that might be a prelude to this demo, man. Oh my god, look at Blue Team, they're just moving in now. Oh, that's looking good. And Epic Killer's actually going for the spy cap. Again, oh, I can't believe you did it again. Moves in on the point and actually caps it with a bit of help from T-Wayne. Nicely done. Okay, round 2. That was an interesting first game, because I thought it was going to be a quick one for Red there. They just kind of moved in, went right to the last point, and it went all the way back again. That was a nice little bit of drama there.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was perfect timing by, I think it was Epic Killer who first off sort of attempted a tiny cap and obviously got taken down by the 2 sentries Red had. And then very, very nicely, I believe it was Steve the Hippo, I think, with an Uber from, I think, Quincy. And that was sort of pretty much perfect timing. You just saw the rest of Blue just run through the doors, and it was kind of obvious it was over for Red, especially after the fact that Red guys were trying to get over to the point, and then the train appeared, and you would have thought, with it being a flatbed train, they would have had no problem, but they were landing on the flatbed and being pushed behind barriers, and that kind of just sealed the deal for them, really.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I love the Transverse map. It's a nice random factor people get pissed off with. It's a different kind of crits in a strange way. Just massively annoying. Oh, okay, this is it. Red all up to the point. Blue suddenly moved in with that Uber, and it's brown trousers time, and Red has gone moving back. But this is the thing. All this move up force, always vanguarding, and they've forgotten the midpoint. Guys, why do you forget these things? And oh, this could be embarrassing. Red team is now capping mid after Blue pushed up epically. Oh, you gotta remember to cap the point while vanguarding. You can't do one or the other.
Yeah, that was definitely a case of a bit of a confused responsibility there. Like I saw, obviously, demo medic. There was an Uber popped. They kind of, you have to run up and push Red back. But when the scout follows them along as well, it's sort of like, okay, this might be going somewhere. And then no one else comes around the corner to take the scout's place. And it's kind of like, ooh, whoopsie-daisy.
Yeah, now to be fair, Blue got that back, but I thought Red might have taken that, which would have been hilarious. But it was just one of those moments of, you're leaving it. But look at Red though, they're kind of making their way back on that point. They're not letting that go easy. I'm loving that scout. Erismar's on there, like, yeah, I'm getting this. Brave scout is brave. That sniper! I need to jump over, I'm on the other side. And he stuck behind the bars as well. I was like, oh, where am I going?
Oh, Bawdy Dog, you got very lucky then. That was very close to being a massive disaster.
I didn't see it. I knew Crockett was involved though. Okay, Blue's back on the point. They haven't really managed to move in this time. Red's doing something right at the moment. Not sure what it is. As we're comment, we're not omnipresent. We can see a lot of stuff, not everything.
Oh, look at this troll train as well. Quad just sat there not knowing what the hell to do, but Red didn't take as much of an advantage as they could have with that. They could have at least, moved up to where the train was and kind of surprised Blue filtering out through.
I mean, that would be epic levels of teamwork. If a team, basically the team said, you went through one of the spawn points, train coming through, and then train was coming. You could time that. That'd be amazing teamwork, but you never ever see it. Speaking about omniscience in this game, the thing I love about being scout and that kind of thing, when you hassle a point, somebody at the front doesn't know what's going on at the back. That's the thing. So if a scout's on there for an extended period of time, even though there's one guy and there's like the rest of the team kind of there, but the enemy team's not there but actually shooting it, they're thinking, oh my god, the point is caving, and they run backwards. That is the real power of trolling a point like that.
Yeah, to be honest, half of the work of a scout, you kind of, it's almost similar to a medic in a way. If you play scout as a support class, it's actually really, really effective. You don't even have to fire bullets. Like you can, depending on the skill of enemy players, you can end up, if you run past the spawn point or something, even if you're bonked, sometimes you'll find that dumb players just think, oh, I've got to get that scout, and they'll run after you regardless of which way you go. If you're running the complete opposite direction to the point, they'll still chase after you, and you don't have to do anything. You just have to lead them with you.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's great old distraction scout right there, and that's the thing. People kind of forget with scout that they are one of the best dueling casters in the game. You get way too close to it and you're dead. Even as like anything else. I mean, heavy's got to be careful even. But usually a good heavy, quite omniscient. I mean, heavy's like the other real big counter to a scout. Other than that of a full fat engineer sentry. Or a dastardly mini. I mean, everybody hates minis. Well, anyway, it's Blue's still trying to cap this point. That could be disastrous. And it was. Standing all together in a tight doorway is perhaps not the best idea. If one crit got through that would be a complete disaster.
I have to say as well, actually, Scar has been basically just getting some really, really nice sticky shots down, and that is one of those areas. Like last game, I saw him as well. He was really heavily focusing on that area. I mean, yeah, like Epic Killer just mentioned in the chat, it's kind of demo spam, but everyone on here, we're all adults. We all know how this game works. You can avoid that stuff if you really try.
Yep, loving that Kritzkrieg though. Came out there. I mean, I don't know who that was. I think it's Body Dog just moving out there, just trying to kill everything off. I mean, he was doing really well with that, but the team just didn't move up after him.
Also, another guy. Oh, I was going to say another guy on fire, T-Wayne, although he just got killed. But his reflecting is just top shelf work. I mean, that is really, really nicely done.
Yeah, I was discussing with him earlier. I mean, I saw him. We saw him in what was it? Thunder Mountain. I said he's got the makings of an excellent stealth pyro, backburner style, but he loves his reflect, and he's like, no, yeah, okay. I'm less reflecty, more burny. Oh, speaking of other things though, that blue teleport though, oh my god, that's divine. That is just in the right place. I mean, they don't even know where it is because it's so behind cover. Anyway, back to the game. Secret information is secret. Listen out later, folks. And the other thing actually with this map, I keep forgetting to a water feature. Pyros actually are not so good here. It's a very rare case. Or if you want to go for the Plan B achievement, now's your chance. Body Dog there. I think he's got some information he needed. I'm not going to say until... this is the thing. I mean, they're ignoring that teleport for the time being, and Blue is just hanging in there.
Yeah, he definitely did see it.
I think Quincy did. Yeah, he managed to get Scar after all that. Rocket jumped into the demo man, and the gym managed to finish off there. Man, there is some epic battling going on here. I mean, both teams are doing really well. Oh, hang on, what's this? Oh yeah, Stabson in with the things. Oh, the train came at the wrong side. If it was a full box train, oh come on, nobody's on the point. Oh my god, that was. And oh wow, that was a lovely follow up by Red there. They've just completely broken out. That was Wow, that's the power of backcapping Scout right there.
Yeah, I think Blue kind of just let themselves down. Like, they had a really, really nice little placement going on and everything, but, you know, that got figured out, and then it does look like Blue have kind of been caught a little bit unawares. It does seem there's a couple of guys kind of still wondering where the actual main field to play on is happening, because there's some guys still stuck at the backfield. And, yeah, I mean, Red pretty much, they kind of just went to the standard, you know, I guess, you know, you would normally call it a noob tactic, but it works really nicely here. That second to last point, they were just chilling out there with like 5 guys in one room. It's going to be very hard to attack that.
Yeah, that's where good old-fashioned noob is needed for that kind of thing. Or crits, to be fair. And wow, look at this. Wow, that's the thing. Red Blue team counter-attacking way too hard. Red's in there. Oh, they're going to get a steal for this. And peace. The last man on the point. Bypassed. And Red just capped that. That's a blitz and a half. Nice win there from Red.